What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the garage, and it is Memorial Day weekend. We're doing an impromptu live. We'll give it some time for some people to roll in here and see what's going on. Let me see if I can adjust the camera angle a little bit. I know there's just such a bright light behind my head. It's terrible. What can I say? I know a lot of you are probably out doing stuff for Memorial Day weekend, so we may not have a lot of people show up, but I am back in the garage. I've been in the garage today. I am now back in the garage. Getting ready to work. It is 7 o'clock. I was sitting there being lazy, and I was like, man, I need to get off my butt and get busy. There we go. People rolling in. What is up, James? I'm guessing that's Jerry, JMFH. MK, good to see you again. Back in Oklahoma. De La Soul, Jeff, Vortec, Super Slow. What is going on? So just loads of disappointment. What up, DIY? Good to see you, man. Loads of disappointment, frustration, dogs barking, all kinds of terrible stuff. So I fought with the reluctor wheel on the transmission for 2 days. Dirt Floor, good to see you, man. How you been, brother? Fought with the transmission reluctor ring, getting it installed for like 2 days. Essentially, like I ordered a reluctor ring that goes on the output shaft of the transmission to get transmission speeds. If I'd known it was going to be such a hassle, I would have just gotten a drive shaft sensor. But essentially, it boils down to that the reluctor ring was for a 4L60, and this has a 4L80 output shaft on it. So I just had to hone it out. Really needed to mill it out. It's about 0.5 millimeter, but I got that knocked out today. The transmission is back in the Typhoon. I'm getting ready to tackle the transfer case, I think, get the drive line sorted out. The other issue has to do with the injector controller. I'm an idiot. What it boils down to, I don't know why I thought that the injector controller could control injectors over CAN bus, but it can't. Excuse me. So got to ditch the injector controller, got to go over and use the outputs on the fuel tech, which means I can't do the transmission control on the fuel tech, which means I will be running a micro squirt as a transmission controller. The only complaint that I have about that is that you can't do custom CAN bus messages on the transmission firmware for the micro squirt, which means I can't tie it into the fuel tech to get like TPS, RPM, and stuff like that right now. I'm trying to figure something out. There's some ways that I could do it. Specifically, if I were to want to go in and hack the CAN bus stuff and throw a third-party device like a Canny Logic in there. So, could get that sorted out, but we'll see. Run an RMVB. What does that even mean? So, well, it's a 4L60, but it's just a, super upgraded 4L60. So I got it on there, got the sensor installed, transmission's in place. I haven't got it slipped down into the trans mount. Oh, reverse manual valve body. Gotcha. No. Automatic, full automatic, none of that race stuff. This thing is going to be fast, but it's not going to be a race stuff. See you, Shane. No, it has an 80 output shaft on it. Or if it's not an 80 output shaft, it's not a standard 4L60 output shaft because it is thicker. So by buying a reluctor ring designed to go on a standard 4L60 output shaft, it did not fit at all. So I had to take about 0.5 millimeter out of it. Stuffing the new intercooler on yours. I got to do all kinds of crap like that, man. Transcooler, got to put the intercooler in with the new pump. Yeah, running out of channels. Exactly, super slow. Since I went with the 550 light instead of the 600, I don't have enough output channels to run the transmission and still run sequential fuel injection. I could run, technically, I guess I could run the transmission and run bank-to-bank fuel injection if I want to go that way. But I mean, come on, let's do sequential. Why wouldn't we do sequential, right? So it's not a big ordeal. Technically, I think about the only things that you need in the micro squirt for trans control is TPS or map sensor, load, one of the two for load, RPM, and coolant temp for some reason. I'm not sure why they want a coolant temp. I've not dug into the documentation to see what they're using coolant temp for, unless they have a coolant temp based shift table to keep you from wrapping the gears out until you reach a certain temperature. Not really messed with it that much. But if you saw my video yesterday where we had 20 days, we're at 19 days, 11 hours, 7 minutes, and 3 seconds. I've got power to it. Now that I got to pull power back off of it because I shortened everything out. Brad WK, it's rated for 700 wheel. So stage 2. We're looking to get up to, 450, 500. Nothing crazy. So trying to stay sane on this. We've backing down on horsepower. Performance built it, and it's got an FTI torque converter in it, Jeff. With a Performance built. So we'll see. We'll put it to the test. 500 all-wheel drive will be interesting. Sounds good. MK, good to see you, brother. So we'll see. We'll see. Just we're getting to that point where there's just a bunch of just piddly small things to get knocked out. And so that's why I'm like, it's Saturday. I don't have anything going on. I should not just be totally lazy. I can go down to the garage and drink a couple Trulies and work on the Typhoon and get some more stuff. Oh, sweet. Super Slow says he got the stage 2 and the Super Slow. Beat on every day, no issues. Well, after watching them, specifically Ryan, like do an assembly and talk about all that stuff, I was like, yeah, I'm willing to give this a shot. And honestly, the price is not bad for what it is. Day of Soul, I have not talked to my guy at HP Tuners in a bit. Vortec, Patreon is $25 for the tune support level. $5 just to support, $5 to say, hey, appreciate everything. $25 for the tune support level, $75 for the one-on-one level, which gets you access to the calendar so you can set up one-on-one video chats. What up, Funny Muffler? Watch videos yours today talking about logging horsepower and torque. You said you were going to play with it on the Super Auto and give feedback on how the logging played out. You got to, Jerry, you got to give me more details. Specifically, in what aspect were we logging it and doing what with it? I've slept since then, brother. I have slept since then. Look at that. What do you think? What do you think? Worthwhile? Yeah, let me put them closer together. So, cool, Vortec. I'll keep an eye out. I probably, it's probably not worth the money. El Chevy Flores, email me your log. I didn't get your log. I saw your tune today, or I saw your email. Email me your last log. For some reason, I didn't get that. Jose says, which is the best software for the 302 Mustangs SN95? I am not anywhere sure what the SN95s. Listen, I'm guessing HP Tuners supports it. Just go with HP Tuners, but double check the vehicle list. Would a stock ported throttle body on a C706 need a tune revision? If I already have an intake and a pulley. Probably not for a stock ported throttle body, since you're I mean, not really increasing the surface area that much on it. What's the word on the GTO? The GTO failed state safety inspections, but passed emissions, which is very interesting. It failed safety for a tie rod link and 2 exhaust clamps. This state blows my mind. Pennsylvania is just so stupid. So I have to replace the tie rod links on the front and 2 exhaust clamps. But I'm still waiting on the supercharger to show up. I've not heard it. So I ordered it from Boost District, and I have heard that he is notoriously bad about shipping things slowly, which I can't say much. I'm the same way. I'm notoriously bad about shipping things slowly. So, but we're talking about a $5 sticker as opposed to a $4,500 supercharger. That being said, though, maybe tomorrow, if I get a chance and it's not raining and nasty outside, I will do a review video on the glow shift gauge. I've got a lot to talk about on it. I still have not hooked up the sensor for the Innovate just because I haven't wanted to get underneath it yet. So yeah, just passed Texas inspection, no cats. So yeah, I've got some highs and lows, and there's some interesting things that probably need to be adjusted in the tune to get the narrowband simulator or narrowband emulators to work properly as far as the glow shift goes. And it's just because the voltage doesn't switch as fast as a narrowband does. Any pointers for reoccurring drivability issues on 2018 ZL1? Moderate acceleration followed by complete stop equals idle dips close to a stall. But vehicle recovers niles normally. 2018 ZL1, 2018 is probably a 5th gen, so it just means that your torque tables are too high in the idle area. Try lowering, no. God, it's been so long. Try lowering the torque in the idle area of your virtual torque tables and see if that helps. 5.7, James. I got the 5.7 because I wanted to do a 3rd gen ECU. Yeah, exactly, Vortec. Well, no, Ping Trip, I'm talking about the ECU that's in it. It's either a 4th gen or an 8th gen. The Camaros were a little bit wonky on the ZL1s. Is it an LSA or an LT4 in 2018? I'm guessing 2018 is the LT4, so it'd be a 5th gen ECU, which means it'd be a torque based, which means your virtual torque is too high at idle. Dude, like Durfloor, I have passed inspection on my Mickey Thompson's ETRs, street ETs or whatever. And as long as the traction or the grooves are deep enough that you're not to the inspection line on them, you're good to go. I'm trying. I've got, as I said, 19 days. Then we go to Rocky Mountain Race Week. As soon as that's over, we're going to dive in and do a lot of stuff on the GTO. So there's going to be a lot of videos. Until then, though, since we are so close to the wire based on the doom clock over here on the shelf, it is all Typhoon all the time. And then we will circle around and start doing, because we're doing Rocky Mountain Race Week 2.0, but we're going in the Nova. And literally the only thing that I want to change in the Nova is I want to add a gear vendors to it because of the 411s that we put in it last year are going to be a little bit too tight for any kind of highway cruising. So, and it's in Oklahoma, it's not even here. So I can't even really mess with it that much, but it's running like a scalded ape right now. And so we'll just go ahead and do, I'll get a gear vendors ordered up and yeah. How good is the most quarter horses software? Jose, I have no clue, man. I haven't ran the quarter horse. I've done some of the other moat stuff just briefly. It is thick. I mean, you're going to be on, what's it called? Let me look here. Tuner Pro. Tuner Pro is what you're going to be using. Tuner Pro is Not the most user-friendly. Yeah, Jeff, that's the way I was used to in Oklahoma. Yeah. When I lived in Missouri, I kept the windshield out because it failed inspection with the crack, but passes with no windshield. The last time I had an inspection in Oklahoma, I went in and I paid for the inspection. The guy wrote me out this and the paperwork and gave me the sticker. They went on the license plates. And he goes, honk your horn as you're driving out of the parking lot. That way I know at least that much works. And that was it. That's why they did away with it, because it was such a joke in Oklahoma. Have a good one, Super Slow. Yeah, we're not going to run on too much longer here. As I said, I'm going to get busy. But I was expecting them to throw a fit on the GTO on the emissions side of it, because the factory connector has one wire going to a different wire coming out of the wideband gauge. What's your preferred cam for the LS platform? Name one or top three. Like, are you looking for a specific spec or manufacturer, or like I'm not a cam spec guy. That's Richard Holdner. Holler at him. He'll give you every cam spec for every. Tell him what your bolt-ons are, and he'll tell you exactly which cam to run on. For a LS, I like Cam Motion. I've been really happy with Cam Motion. What up, Ozman? Yeah. That's why I ran on my stuff, Cam Motion. I run Crowder on the big block. I don't know. It's all the same. I've not ran a GPI cam, though I have ran, I did the GPI setup. I think it was GPI setup. Maybe I just copied the GPI setup on the Super Auto for the Pistons. Thank you, El Chevy Flores. I will check it out. Probably not tonight, but maybe tomorrow. Okay. As I said, I saw your email and it caught me off guard because I got caught up on emails on Friday morning and I didn't have one from you. So whenever you said something about checking in, yeah, I like Cam Motion, and it seems like their turnaround, like they have a lot of blanks on the shelf, so they can get custom grinds out pretty quick. What up, Hi-O Silver? So it's 18 minutes in. We're going to go until 20 minutes, and then we're going to call it a night so I can get back to work. And maybe if I need to take a break tomorrow while I'm working, we'll do another impromptu. Interesting. There are 4 rubber washers in the GTO gas tank that E85 will heat up and clog your fuel pump. When you change fuel pumps, cut out all that rubber you can. GPI uses Cam Motion course. Not surprising. I mean, there's not that many places that are. I wouldn't be surprised if GPI is just having Cam Motion grind all of their cams, and they're just rebadging them. Does the throttle body hole need to be drilled with the cam? The throttle body never needs to be drilled. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. Ever, ever, ever. Ever. Ever, 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 ever. If you didn't catch what I was saying, the throttle body never needs to be drilled. Ever. Drilling the throttle body is old school way of trying to correct for incorrect IAC adjustments and stuff like that. So just adjust your throttle stop screw, watch your IAC counts. Whenever it's warmed up, get your IAC, into the 50 to 70. You're on an old fourth gen ECU. That's drive-by-wire. There's absolutely no reason to ever drill a drive-by-wire throttle body. Ever, ever, ever. It does happen a lot, Hi-O Silver. It does. But as I said, that is the way of fixing a problem that you can fix in the tune, is what it boils down to. Okay, yeah, drive-by cable, drive-by wire, doesn't matter. You can fix things. Osman says, watch the torque management video again. My 4L80 kicks like a mule when it upshifts. Add more torque loss to the spark retard. Osman, when on your transmission configuration, do you have torque management on that where you can update the depending on which TCM is, where you can update the torque coefficient, and you could raise the torque coefficient on that table, and it will affect everything else as far as what the ECU does. Yeah. Did people used to, yeah, Jose, people used to all the time. That is it. It was a quick way out. Well, in fact, one of the throttle bodies that I ran, I can't even remember what it was. Maybe one of the first throttle bodies that I ran on the big block had a hole drilled in it, and I ended up putting a rivet in it to fix it because it caused issues trying to get the thing to idle properly. That's Anthony, that's fine. Let your IAC do what it does. We set the IAC when it's warm, and then it does what it needs to whenever it's cold and stuff like that. Let it do its thing. 130 is perfectly fine in the operational range of the IAC. You're probably still in a high idle mode there anyways to get some heat circulated through the motor. But 130 is perfectly fine. It's whenever you get out close to 300 or 0 that you're going to have an issues, or 270 or whatever the max is. Christopher Hardy, am I doing something wrong with HP? It keeps changing the AFR settings from LAM to AFR when I'm doing a drive log. Brother, I don't know. Do you have a log captured where that happens? If you do, send that to me so I can see it. That's such a weird issue. Yes, El Chevy Flores. I agree with you, but I can't show that one because of the curse, the insanity. So listen, we went a couple minutes over. We're going to wrap it right here. So I'm going to get back to work over here on the Typhoon. Wish me luck. Let's get the transfer case installed, maybe the rest of the drive lines and stuff like that today. And then, as I said, maybe I'll jump on for a little bit tomorrow and give you guys another update or something like that. So you guys know the drill. Thanks for stopping by the garage. Remember, ABT, always be tuning.